Hello YouTube, this is Corbin22 here. Tonight we're looking at a slightly different build that I made. This one is an existing build that I've tweaked to my own specifications. This is a Gold Squadron build consisting of 2 Y-Wings and a YT-2400 freighter. This build works a little bit differently than my Rogue Squadron build. This one, while it kind of relies on synergy, this one is primarily focused on attacking in any direction. See, here's the thing. The YT-2400 has an omnidirectional firing arc, thanks to its top and bottom mounted laser cannons. This means that even if the opponent is outside of the ship's firing arc, as long as it's within range, even if it's behind the ship, I can still fire back. The same applies to the Y-Wings. They have they're able to have turrets as upgrades onto their ships. And turrets are omnidirectional, just like the YT-2400's weapons. So this means that they too can fire in any direction, as long as the opponents are within range. Add to the fact that these ships can take quite a beating. It makes this build quite a formidable squadron. So, with that being said, let's take a look at each ship's stats. So we've got quite a simple build this time. However, bigger isn't always better, as they say. So let's dive right into this. The first ship we have in mind is Gold Leader, aka, for this build, aka Dash Rendar. He has a pilot skill of 7, he flies a Corellian YT-2400 freighter, he has an attack value of 2, an agility value of 2, a hull value of 5, and a shield value of 5. He can take on the focused, lock-on, and barrel option. He costs 36 squadron points, and he's able to take on the elite talent upgrade, a mounted gun upgrade, a missile upgrade, and a co-pilot upgrade. His ability states, you may ignore obstacles during the activation phase and when performing actions. This makes Dash Rendar a very dangerous ship to fight against. With this ability, asteroids and debris fields do not affect Dash. So that means he can land on an asteroid field or a debris field. He will not suffer its effects, he will not take damage, and he will be able to perform his actions and attack as normal. Now, moving on to his upgrades. His first upgrade is the title card, the Outrider, which is Dash's default ship. It only applies to the YT-2400, and it states, while you have a mounted gun upgrade card equipped, you cannot perform primary weapons attacks, and you may perform secondary weapon secondary weapon attacks against ships outside your firing arc. Now, you might wonder, how is that going to help Dash if he can't fire his primary weapons? Well, I'll show you. To compensate for that, I've given him a heavy laser cannon. It has an attack value of 4 and needs to be at range 2 to 3 to be used. During the attack phase, I use this to attack one ship. After I roll my attack dice, you must change all of your critical results to hit results. So it kind of dumbs down the effectiveness of the weapon, but for an attack value of 4, and thanks to the Outrider's ability to have mounted guns attack in all directions, it makes up for this pretty much makes the heavy laser cannon Dash's primary weapon, and has 2 points higher than Dash's regular attack value, which is 2. So this makes Dash very dangerous to fight against. And then for the rest of his upgrades, his co-pilot upgrade, I've given him a Recon Specialist. When you perform a focus action, assign one additional focus token to your ship. So this basically lets Dash perform 2 focus actions for the price of 1. Pretty nifty. It makes this particular build is even more deadly when you equip Deadeye. This one states, you may treat attacks for target locks as attacks for focus. When an attack instructs you to spend a target lock, you may spend a focus token instead. You see what I've done here? Recon Specialist allows Dash to take 2 focus actions. And, by using Deadeye, say I want to attack with my heavy mounted gun. I roll 4 attacks, and say 3 of them are blanks. I can spend 1 focus in place of a lock-on to reroll my blanks, and any focuses after that, I can spend my second focus token to change to hits. So this basically guarantees that the heavy laser cannon has a pretty high chance of hitting my opponent. So yeah, these upgrades combined make Dash a very dangerous ship to tango with. Now onto his wingmen. For his wingmen, I've chosen 2 standard Gold Squadron pilots. They each have a pilot skill of 2. They fly the BTL-A4 Y-Wing Starfighter, the workhorse of the Rebel Alliance. They have an attack value of 2, an agility value of 1, a hull value of 5, and a shield value of 3. They're able to take on the focus and lock-on action. They cost 18 squad points to build, so they're quite cheap. And they're able to take on a turret upgrade, 2 warhead upgrades, and an astromech upgrade. Because these are common pilots, they do not have a special ability, so they're just here to serve as wingmen for Dash Rendar. Now, because this is a 100-point build, I was unable to add any more upgrades to make these ships more effective, so instead what I've done is given each of them ion cannon turrets. They have an attack value of 3 and can be used at range 1 to 2. The effect states, attack one ship even outside your firing arc. If this attack hits the target ship, the ship suffers 1 damage and receives an ion token, then cancel all dice results. So what this means is, the ion cannon turret allows the Y-Wing to attack in any direction, and if it successfully hits, the enemy ship being attacked suffers 1 damage, be it shield or hull, and suffers 1 ion damage, or suffers 1 ion token. That basically means the ship is unable to move until the end of the next activation phase. So, basically the idea is, Gold Squadron targets a ship, they disable it with their ion cannons, and then Dash moves in from any angle and takes them down with his heavy laser cannons. See the synergy there? Now, onto the squad's build, the strengths and weaknesses. Its strengths, well, like I said, this build allows for all 3 ships to attack at any direction. They're given omnidirectional firing arcs. The Y-Wings move in to disable their targets, while their YT-2400 moves in for the kill with heavy laser cannons. Added with the Recon Specialist and combined with Deadeye will make Dash even more dangerous because he can now get 2 focus actions for the price of 1, and then Deadeye will allow him to use one of his focus actions as a lock-on instead. It'd be even more dangerous if there were missiles, but I digress. This build's biggest weakness? Well, the fact that they can't really evade that well. I mean, the Y-Wing is primarily a bomber, so it's not exactly known for its maneuverability. It's known for being able to take hits. That being said, even the Y-Wing is not invincible. So, your best bet would be to keep your Y-Wings to keep your Y-Wings as far away from your opponents as possible, and only attack with your primary weapons if you're at range 3. Or only attack with your primary weapons if you feel you must. Every other time you attack, you have to make sure you're outside your opponent's firing arc to suffer as minimal damage as possible. The same goes for Dash Rendar. His biggest weakness is that, yeah, he can take a lot of hits. He's got 2 hit points more than the Y-Wings, which is good. However, his heavy laser cannon makes it so that he can't attack at range 1. So if there are enemy ships in range 1 of his firing arc, he can't counterattack. And because of the Outrider's ability, because of the Outrider title card, he can't attack with his primary weapon. His heavy laser cannon has become his primary weapon. So, this is my Gold Squadron build. Let me know what you think about it. Yeah, you can customize. You can use this build if you like, or you can tweak it to whatever you feel would work best. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And any constructive criticism is greatly appreciated. And this is Cordman22 signing off.